Hi everyone. Thank you Tamiami Angel Fund for hosting us today. My name is Mike, and together with my partner Philip, we'll be presenting an exciting opportunity for you to invest $700,000 into transforming digital audio consumption as we know it, and derive significant profit from its evolution into the world's most easily consumable and personalized learning resource. So let's get started. In today's busy world, every second seems to be filled with something we have to do or somewhere we need to be. Not only that, but our professional landscape is more competitive than ever as information becomes easier to find and faster to access. How do we find time to grow and develop, to stay ahead of the game? The answer is through utilizing the medium that can be with us almost everywhere while we are doing almost anything: audio. Today, we have access to some of the world's most brilliant minds with unparalleled opportunities to learn from hearing them in conversation on podcasts. But we forget. And what use is information that we've forgotten? That got us thinking, has audio really reached its potential today? When we listen to podcasts, how valuable is that one-way data stream? There are ways to help us remember interesting things. They are hard to do when you only have a play and a pause button. Podcasting as a technology feels outdated, primitive, and underutilized. In fact, some analysts liken it to the black and white TV of the 21st century. Podli aims to revolutionize, revitalize, and more efficiently monetize podcasts. We aim to make audio, and subsequently podcasts, an interactive tool for learning. With podcasts being the primary media for audio learning, podcasting has been showing a steady growth and shows no sign of slowing down. Even with technology being stagnant, frequency of usage is increasing, and with that comes opportunity. So why are people listening to podcasts? Well, primarily to learn new things. Podcast polls validate that the market is hungry to use audio as an educational tool, but what we have in the palm of our hand falls far short of its potential. Let me paint a picture. Imagine yourself driving home from work. You have an hour or so you decide to listen to Josh Wolfe. Partway through a discussion, Mr. Wolfe is providing insights on how the economy will continue to react during an infectious disease crisis. You know this is important, and you want to make sure you don't forget what he just said and perhaps want to reference it later. So what does technology let you do today? Well, there you have it. You're helpless. With your hands on the steering wheel, you have no way to interact with audio content today. There must be a better way. It turns out that there are also improvements to be made for those monetizing podcasts. Current podcast ad monetization is 1/10 compared to radio ads, despite being shown to be equally as effective. Ad growth is steady and steep. So why is that? Well, once a podcast is recorded, there is no way to update any native commercial messages. In short, we're treating advertisement in podcasts like a page in a newspaper that's getting read again and again, weeks after print. With smartphones, computing power, and technology today, we can develop more advanced, unexplored, and profitable ad delivery platforms than radio currently has. Podli is going to capitalize on these shortcomings to transform this outdated user experience for our growing stakeholder base, and that sounds like an opportunity to us. I'll now hand over to my colleague Philip to tell you more about the business itself.
Thank you, Mike. So at Podli, at heart, we are a technology company. We're creating podcast consumption tools for self-education while creating value for key stakeholders in a very underdeveloped podcasting ecosystem. We will transform audio learning by leveraging natural language processing and artificial intelligence to make it smart, the same way that software had transformed businesses in the last 2 decades. To help us achieve that, we have spent a significant amount of time recruiting and signing up an experienced and proven advisory board. And while we're starting out with consumers, our platform will also be able to target the B2B education and learning markets. With Podli, audio is no longer a one-way data stream. It's interactive, it's smart, and it's engaging. Did you hear something you liked on the podcast you're just listening to? Interact verbally with Podli to save notes simply by issuing commands while listening. Those notes can be summarized on your learning portal later. Are you only listening on half an ear to an in-depth review on politics while you're grocery shopping? The podcast application can prompt me, hey, pay extra attention to the upcoming soundbite. And it does that because a large amount of community members save that very section to their own notes. These are two very simple but very powerful examples of what is possible. Radio and existing podcast adverts are played and forgotten. Well, rich data on user listening habits and interest means we will be able to deliver timely and relevant adverts based on the user preferences, in addition to the content they're actually interacting with. And by being able to analyze this user behavior, we can use that and provide instant feedback to content producers, guiding them in their content development strategy. In short, users will love the Podli experience, and investors will love our artificial intelligence technology platform. Let's take a view on the podcast market today. It's divided into 4 segments. Podli will initially position ourselves with a consumer experience and by doing content aggregation and syndication. We do foresee that hosting will become a natural progression as part of our technology evolution. So who are you talking to today? Well, you've already met Mike. Mike is our CEO. Mike is an avid podcaster with a passion for learning. He has worked in the venture capital world for the last few years and came up with the idea to start Podli. My name is Philip. Mike and I met through our MBA alumni network over at Quantic. I'm an AI engineer with a background in audio and signal processing, and I'll be acting as the CTO for Podli. That's who we are. So who is our customer? Well, our initial go-to-market strategy is the B2C market, with a podcast listener as the primary customer. The powerful technology also opens up a gateway to a much larger educational and learning market. So how are we going to make money? We plan to have subscriptions priced at $3 a month. That's the lower end of a long tail of providers. Spotify, for example, bundles podcasts into their music application, currently priced at $10. So we intentionally set our price point to attract existing paying podcast listeners who can recognize the value in our platform. The free version is anticipated to initially bring in a low number of ad revenue, around 30 cents per month per user. Of course, technology is our backbone. As we are pursuing patents, these can be leveraged in future licensing opportunities. So what does that translate to? Here are our revenue projections. We're currently at 70,000 subscribers through our soft launch. We anticipate to break even just below 300,000 subscribers, with 10% of those being paid subscriptions. By year 2023, we project 700,000 subscribers with 15% on paid subscriptions, delivering roughly $6.5 million in revenue. That is our money. I'm going to hand it back to Mike, who's going to talk about your money.
Thank you very much for that, Philip. So Philip and I have already committed $300,000 into this venture, and we're looking for an additional $700,000 in equity investment. With a very modest pre-money valuation of 2.3 million, that allows for a significant 23% equity share to our initial investors. Our belief is that starting to build a solid user base is a very important goal as we continue to grow our company and build our technology. We plan to dedicate the majority of our resources towards that goal through advertisements, and we will split the remaining financial resources between building our human capital and technology. Your money will be returned through an acquisition. The podcast market is heating up. There have been some notable exits, with Spotify leading the mergers and acquisitions pack as incumbents search for diversification and new technology. Our goal is to achieve exit through acquisition within 4 years. We believe the acquirer will want both our technology and our user base. Our modelling indicates that Podli will be worth somewhere between 20 and 120 million in that 4-year timescale. We share more detail on how we plan to achieve the upper bound of that valuation in our business plan. In summary, we believe you should invest in us because of what we already have and proven and accomplished, and the exciting opportunity ahead of us. Your investment will be used to grow the organization, develop the technology, and improve the user experience, creating a scalable platform. Combined with seeding new markets, we expect this to result in an exciting venture exit within 4 years. So thank you very much for taking the time to listen to our presentation. We're ready to answer any of your questions about the future of audio-based learning. And if you open the folder in front of you, you have access to our detailed business plan. I'll take any questions now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.